Now I unite Mr. Subhash Chandra from Malayalam.
Honorable writers, dear friends, and all who love and respect the written word. Maybe I am the one who has traversed the longest distance to be here today, to be honored by the Kedar Sahitya Academy, because I hail from Kerala, a little place at the southern tip of the peninsula, so far away from here. But I believe strongly that as the earth has its gravitational pull, a great country has a patriotic gravitational pull of its own. Our country has this force which holds together in its embrace all distances and all diversities. So this moment fills my heart with the essential pride of being an Indian as well as a Malayali. On this day, my memories trail back to a 5-year-old in a remote village in Kerala who wept and wailed to compel his father to give him the name of Subhash Chandra Bose of faraway Bengal. My parents named me Suresh Kumar, a framed picture of Subhash Chandra Bose brimming with dignity and self-respect adorned the wall of our ancestral home, looking at which always made me awestruck. I was not old enough to grasp who or what the person was, but his posture and gait, which seemed to emanate light, spread its roots slowly and deeply into my soul. On the day of joining school, my name was given as Suresh Kumar for the records, and I broke down and cried. I told the confused headmaster that I wanted to be called by the name of Subhash Chandra Bose, and there I stand before you as Subhash Chandra. Along with the great Subhash Chandra Bose, I also remember my humble father, who was a company laborer. On the walls of my childhood, it was he who hung the bright light of greatness. He is not in this world today to be a witness of the day when the country is honoring the youngest of his 5 children. But I believe he, who in his lifetime never traveled out of his state, is here today, somewhere in this deadly air, invisibly listening to my words. The novel Manshana Ramukham, which won the Academy Award, is my first. I started the work before I turned 30. Before I turned 40, it was published periodically in the renowned Madhubhumi Weekly. I was trying to molten the emotional and social evolution which our society underwent in the span of the century into a family saga. Like you already know, at that time, the scenario in our state was such that Swami Vivekananda had to regretfully call it a madhouse. In those days, our land was passing through a dark phase of caste discrimination, which was more scary than religious discrimination. To wipe away this shame, our land gave birth to many great souls like Srinarayana Guru, who commanded the respect of even Mahatma Gandhi. With all their endeavors, there dawned the light of Renaissance in Kerala. Being human turned out to be a thing to rejoice about, as Srinarayana Guru words echoed everywhere: one caste, one creed, one God for man. But sadly, that light too faded away. A people who were led by great leaders suddenly had no one to look up to for the guiding light. Political, social, and religious organizations were filled with men who had no clue of the greatness of man. The lights inside us slowly started to wane. Friends, at a time like this, I am hopeful about the part of a writer can play. Long back, Tunjat Ramanujan Eduthajan had proved it by its translations of Ramayana and Mahabharata into Malayalam. He did bring back our society, which was neck deep in peril at the hands of the Portuguese, to a spiritual height. We call him the father of Malayalam language. I am not stupid enough to compare myself with him, but I want to tell you all that I am one among his offsprings. The novel Manshana Ramukham, a preface to man, as the title denotes it, is an attempt to wake the reader into his own dark sides and vanities by etching out the contemporary human state. To know the greatness of light, one has to understand what darkness is. Like in the darkness of a movie house, we are indulging in ourselves, gazing at the vulgarity on the screen before us. We are constantly fooling ourselves into what a beautiful life we have. This evolution took place in a little more complicated manner in us Malayalis, who are far ahead in literacy and enlightenment. I have tried to analyze this evolution through 100 years in the backdrop of the concept of a global citizen. I take this honor as an acknowledgement in its success. In the dark moments of human history across the world, each society will have to bring back the memories of their great ancestors and leaders. Hence I quote the names of Srinarayana Guru and Ezhuthachan. I strongly believe the seeds of light sown by those great intellects at different periods in time have to sprout through new writers like us in another era of darkness. I count this award as one of the motivations to add strength to my belief. In our great language Malayalam, there is a word kalpana. One of its meaning is creative ability, the same as in Hindi or in Sanskrit. The same force which is made use of by poet and writers. But in Malayalam, it has another meaning too. It is used by people in place of power. There, the word kalpana means the power to command. Maybe Malayalam is the only language in which the same word is used for the command of the ruler and of the creative power of the writer. Merging these two interesting aspects, I like to look at it in a new light. For us, the creative genius of the writer is more precious and powerful than the command of those who rule. And I think the creativity which comes forth from the writer's intellect only can purify the putrid atmosphere of power politics. I can proudly say that my novel is born out of such a conscious and aimful creativity. Maybe I am the youngest among all the writers who are being honored here. In my language, there are a few others who were lucky enough to have been here while still young. I consider this award, which is being bestowed on me here, as the blessing of all writers who came before me from my language and from every other language across the world. Let me tell you a story which I heard in my childhood. The story of a little bird who flew with the eagles. The little bird so wanted to take part of a race among eagles, but the eagles declined. So the little bird hid under the wings of an eagle. When all eagles gained their maximum heights, the little bird slid out of its hiding place and effortlessly flew up and won the race. Here I remember with gratitude all the great strong eagles who flew before my time. I pause to pay my respects to those writers who have left us and thank all their predecessors who are still in at their works. Also my teachers who passed by handing me the word and its light. I bow my head to the writers all over this world who are pouring their inner fire into their words, constantly reminding us about the dignity of human life. And above everything else, my parents who gifted me the senses to enjoy this beautiful earth. My wife Jayasree, who has always been the strength behind my life and words, who is with me here. And my two girls who could not make it to their father's award ceremony because the examination fever is on. My beloved friends and my graders who have read me and loved me completely. I started off with a heart filled with pride to be a Keralite and also an Indian. But as I speak, I come to realize the fact as the creator of the work Manushyanu Ramukham. As a writer, I feel prouder to be known as a citizen of the world. I have come to love all those who has taken birth in this beautiful earth, along with us Indians. I love you all. For the term writer means a person who can love humanity as a whole beyond walls and beyond narrow divisions. I take leave once again, bowing to you all.